No, that's it. And not to survive. Thank you. Okay, Sean. How do you think I can translate? No, no, no. You don't have off. Don't know. You don't learn what the matter was. No. It's about. I was not so long. You can see this latest started to work it or then process that. Do it and you share Zoom. So just do it. Last comment. You share the. Can you hear it? You hear everything. Heard it. Use it. Like all of us talking to my so I remember seeing right. When we're talking. What's the taste? No, right. Then you have to come out and share. And do it. Turn it on. I go to pay attention to my alarm and topic. It says, once ladies and gentlemen, this soak in the bedroom floor. Yes. Yes. They're over there. So we'll pass them out. I'm sure. So mental needs not have some deep variation to chance the two states. Sure. Student gap right where you to bring release to the field. Why having kept the wrong new thing that's important and you're starting off. So exactly. Do you need more? That's one you also have. What are you? We do try to make starting. So Brian, that. Yeah, come out with TVs that are. But I'm definitely right. But see that or not? Not what we think is to super chipper. I'm gonna turn this around too. We really fair about Kate on the units down in. I've never seen pain. I was purchasing. Plus, well, that's all right. Everybody on the fight me. Well, Stephen, do you want to do the upcoming events? You might bring more images and everything. Vince always wants me to do it, and then he still adds stuff, and I'm like, "What are you doing?" All right. Oh, we got to try. Maybe over the rats and then going forward. You can see that written. After that, next, I'm kind of. Let's call it. Probably the other thing. Yeah, have it on. Yeah. Something else. Oh, it's a little bit early. Something good. In the background. Oh my God. Or my friend called me. Well, she said, "Well, for why?" She goes to me last. So fun. So I did. I'm trying to get this in the feels like it's right out of it. Something so we can like us. I thought I do. But helpers are really easy. On the set. Now, something up there. That's an amazing. Oh, the result of thing that's hopefully. And you must spend how can you sleep in. I've been trying to get myself off of discussing the word. Okay. No. Okay. Yes. See some that one. And so that's the one. All right. Party when they get started, to meetings. I know over there. Sure, businesses still have preferred you decide, they still got a knitting piece of it, or they that it was just right house here. Saying they were active. Towards the no. So I think that's mirrors, different point around without instructions. And then for some companies, it's so we're the
Configure share sound isn't that just that. Here, share the sound, it's just not.
we could turn it all the way under. That's the goal. I think, we kind of had it. So they got some of the just talk over there. Concern. I think you can get it as a little bit like sauce. But even if everything's quiet, it's still sure. That will slide. So like, that have a balance of like two or see one sound that can't be on. I know this.
That's seeds with all them.
Yeah, something. Maybe we're up in there. Hard and hard.
So, you know, like.
Small town, that's important. Hard and it's hard. I'm excited. I like picking cards. Alright, so. What's it? I'm sorry.
Everybody for being here today for our team meeting. We always start out with our vision. I know there's a lot of things that we are grateful for. We are all grateful for you all being here today. But we cannot do any of this without gracious sponsors that help us throughout this our entire business, our entire years. So we do have Kendra from Prosperity Builders. And like you come up and what you have to offer here. Thank you.
Has everyone heard of Prosperity Builders? Okay, so for those that you don't, Tony Berry owns the, I'm vendor user first. But Tony Berry owns the company and his main goal is to get people that typically wouldn't be able to purchase their first home to buy their first home. And this is right down the street from y'all on Highway 61, the Needle Point Townhomes. Yeah, they're all have the garages from 2 bedrooms, 2.5 baths, 995 square feet with a garage. This price for 3.79, you have to, I don't know if you can get that. Let's see. To qualify, we can get up to $80,000 in forgiveness. So basically, every year you live there, 5%, it's like a second mortgage that has no interest. Somebody's just giving them $80,000 every year they live there. 5% is forgiven. Now, if you're a 1-person household, you would have to make less than this to qualify, or a 2-person less than that. So that's based on that price. We also have, this is all based on the city of Charleston income chart that comes out every year. Thankfully for our area, it goes up. So this is based on an 80% AMI. We also have 100% AMI, which they get 50,000 in down payment assistance, and the 120 at 10,000 in down payment assistance. So basically 80 off of this, their mortgage is gonna be at the finish. Currently, we are running an investor special that he will sell 3 market rate homes, which are not deed restricted, not included in the workforce housing. They're just sold like any other house. For $1,095,000, that comes out to $365,000 each. No deed restrictions. The seller will escrow $2,500 per unit for 6 months to give one time an opportunity to get a record. If you have a client that's doing a 1031 tax exchange, this is good for them. He'll also do maybe sell June market homes for the same thing. I will tell you that we did ramp one just this past weekend, about a 14-month lease for $24.99. So if you have an investor that wants, go ahead. Are there any short-term restrictions? So we're actually this came up yesterday, so we're gonna make an amendment to the covenants that allow of 60 days. So you can like foreigners and stuff like that. It was originally a year, but connection HOA $299 a month. That covers all your exterior maintenance, no insurance, just like a condo. You need HO6 policy. Also covers general flood zones, covers flood insurance, Thanksgiving, I might honor you. But this is a really good investment for somebody. And then the last slide, it shows your floor plans, and this is how it's divided up. So standard market rate, which they can be rented, you can do, you know, just like anything else, and then these are deed restricted. So when they go to sell, this is a big, let's go back to that, you have to live like here. You don't, every year you live there, 5% is forgiven. So say you live there 5 years, then you just don't have to pay back when you go to sell. You don't have to pay back however long you live there. And when you go to sell, the only limitation is you have to sell it from somebody in their same. But really to help someone get in the home that otherwise wouldn't be able to afford it.
Same income bracket as that I am at now, or what it was when I bought.
So 80% AMI bracket, which you have to, right now you have to make less than, I think that was 63 or something. Every year that changes in Charleston. And typically it goes up every year. So it should flow with how everything is going in place.
I was so a couple of weeks ago, and it really bothered that it's amazing that we have to do this. It really is. It's so maybe for people.
Exactly, that's what he's trying to do. You're within walking, this is right located on Highway 61, right near the old fire station. You have, you know, nice homes right behind it, a really nice neighborhood with docks. And public boat landing within walking distance, great location.
A lot of key stuff, a lot of.
Yes, there are like this right now.
Just want to say, yeah.
How many questions?
How many?
So we're trying to start phase 2, so the next person, they need one more condo to sell out of 5. That is probably gonna get a pretty good deal, whoever it is, because I need one more to start phase 2. Thank you.
And how many is coming in phase?
They're just gonna start, there's gonna be 40 total, so there's 16 built right now. So phase 2, so it's gonna, I think they're gonna do it by building, it just depends, like 3 or 4 building. Thank y'all for having me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm pretty sure that we can pack her guys, because she's gonna keep bring.
Thank you.
Um,
All right, I will touch on this. KW Cares, I know a lot of y'all have seen the news on this. Flooding in Texas, they have asked that we help out any way we can. The best way that we can help out right now with their local needs is sending gift cards to the Austin office, and they will distribute from there. I have also heard from our regional operations manager. Currently, right now in North Carolina, all agents are accounted for and they don't have any needs right now that they know of. Those may come down the line, but as of right now, we're kind of pushing, helping out Texas in any way that we can.
So you want us to mail and give cards directly?
You can
Yeah.
mail directly, or if you want to drop them off at the office, we'll be happy to do that and send a big load down there. So,
Absolutely. Awesome.
but we're not taking cash or anything like that. You can donate to KW Cares
No,
and they can distribute, or you can drop off gift cards if that's what you like.
Also, we're in the hurricane season boat right now, so we can help out as much as we can. Hopefully, we won't need the assistance. But this is always a possibility for us in Charleston. On that note, keep your records up to date with us. And how we're gonna do this is in command. You don't have to do this. I'm just showing you how to do this. So go to my profile up in the right corner. My KW, and then you'll scroll down to see my KW on the left side. And then it's your personal information. So your mailing address, personal phone number. God forbid anything happen. We just want to make sure that we're able to contact you and do wellness checks. And all that good stuff. Anything you have from there?
Yeah, I mean, if there's a hurricane or something close, it's gonna start to be an email chain, and we're gonna probably be really annoying because we care about you, we care about your families, and we're gonna be in contact with KW Cares. And frankly, the region's really annoying to make sure you guys are all safe. Hope that's okay. And as a result, well, we're also getting to where we need to get to the region, and there's plenty of people in the area that will be happy to call our roster for us. We'll be able to help. Problem is, if we don't have your right information, we don't know where you live, we don't have your right cell phone number. all those good things. So
Pretty anxious when we can't get in touch with.
and we can't get it, and when we can't get in touch with people, we don't really like that, especially during a storm. And so, especially like the home addresses, that's gonna be good for 1099s anyway. So if you're not gonna do it for a hurricane, do it for your taxes.
Yep.
And yeah, just your phone number, because we have that information, but if anything changes, we just wanna know, because just know, you will be hearing from us if there's a storm, if there's any pending evacuations or anything like that. We have a plan in place. We've been running it for years. And we care about you guys and making sure you're safe, your families are safe, so be on the lookout.
Awesome. Up, and then thumbs up. All right.
Alright, so let's get into the graphics. Tell me something that happened in the last week or so, maybe it was this week. Let's fill the bucket. What you got? You got? Go ahead.
Sydney Seymour, she was awesome today.
Yeah.
What's one of the things that, a couple things that y'all learned from that class? I know a lot of you were in.
I'll say, I use ChatGPT like every day, but learning about the differences in AI systems was really cool. Gamma being able to create presentations for you like super quickly, had no idea. So I don't know. That was my biggest takeaway. And then also Winnie, I don't think she's in here anymore, but told me you can like voice to text to your ChatGPT. For me, I always type it, but I had no idea because I hate getting systems out of my head. If anyone knows me on the team, I have a lot of systems in my head. I just don't like to write them out. So getting them out is a great way to do it. I feel like agents probably feel that too. So that you can voice to text to get your systems out of your head. So that was the thing.
That was awesome.
So. What else came out of it?
Gemini, that's connected to the KW email that you get. It's the pro version. I had it go through my emails and see my most frequent questions. Yeah, this morning, so 2 minutes, able to go through the 3 years worth of emails that I have. And I asked it, how long did you go back? It said I went through all your emails. So I was like, okay, great. So I went through all my emails over the last 3 years to get my most frequently asked questions for onboarding to the scholarship, and I was able to differentiate the two and get kind of, now I can get some more systems in place to support those. Can I say now?
Hold on, love it. That is awesome. So, what else? Anything else? And since we're on AI, the real estate commission has come out with guidance around real estate agents using AI. So if you did not know, AI, if you use AI, you can use it. However, whatever it spits out, you are still responsible for validating that information and making sure it's accurate and correct. So because they will charge you or look at you, as the licensee that's supposed to be responsible for whatever information you're putting out. We're supposed to protect public trust, right? And not make sure we're not missing out on anything. So make sure that you guys are going back, double checking, right? AI will help you get about 90% complete. You still have a personal part to make it relatable and make sure that, we're in compliance. So please, be mindful of that. All right. So, our production leaderboards, let's give it up for the groups that we have here. Ronnie and Cole, I think Ronnie and Cole had like 16 closings last month, so that was amazing. Houston team, and then of course we have the Snook team that is always killing some good stuff, next we have our teams. So let's give it up for those that are 3 or more. I know Susan was over there, and then we got, keep going, and then we have our individuals. So let's give it up for all the individuals. Sarah, and one thing I always say about these, if your name's not on this list yet, figure out the get. What's in the get, right? And talk to these people that are on here, and let's figure out, hey, how did you get there? Right? How are you continuing to be there? That's how you get your name on this list next month. So let's continue to give it up for them. Today we're gonna have Jan. We're going through the 6 personal perspectives Want to make sure that we are giving you value every single time. But our ALC members have really stepped up, and I'm excited to hear what she has to say today. I know she has some cards that she has already given out. Does everybody have a worksheet?
You want? Hey, anybody else?
If you don't have a card, yeah, but you do need the work. All right. So without further ado, Jane, you can take it away.
Right.
Yeah, Jan.
Well, I'm glad that y'all are here today. Thank you always for coming and attending the team meeting. It's an hour out of your month that you get to learn some of the most up-to-date information that you're going to get. And you also get to fill your bucket, and you fill leadership's bucket when you come and you participate. My name is Jan Smith. This is my personal information. You may reach out to me if you have questions afterward or anything else. Yes, I have been in the business for a minute. However, some of y'all may not know that I did not start in the business until I was 50. I did not know. So, you know, we all have lives beforehand, before we get into real estate. We don't always just go to college, graduate, and get into real estate. We sometimes have careers beforehand, and we become experts in those careers before we ever enter into real estate. So when we get into real estate, and I don't care if it was in 2010 when I started, 9/11, 2010, that September day was my first day in real estate. Wow. My first day in real estate was a brand new agent. So it was a very exciting month. I did not know if I would ever close anything. But because we did not know what was going to happen in the world. It was December and I closed my first deal in which the closing attorney turned to the buyer and said, "We want you to sign an indemnification letter because your house is so poorly built. We do not want you coming back against the law firm or the agent or the company." First deal. My limiting beliefs were, I am nuts being in real estate. I am crazy. So what are limiting beliefs? Next slide. Slide. Okay. Thoughts that feel like truth, but that actually holds us back. Oh, so sorry. Oh, that's all right. That's a limiting belief right there. And she will get over it, I promise, Tiffany. Oh, they often sound like I can't, I'm not good at, that will never work for me. Have any of y'all ever had a thought like that? Yes, Ben.
I wake up in the morning, I feel like I just
You do feel like that almost every single day. So they're the thoughts that are in the back of our minds and they keep us from growing. They keep us from moving forward. They're in our minds by the time we're brushing our teeth. We almost think about the I can'ts before we think about the I can'ts. Okay, so what is the info of the next slide, please? Common limiting beliefs for agents. I'm not what?
Experience that.
What's number 2? Somebody read number 2 for me.
There are too many agents in my area.
How many agents do we have in our area?
Too many.
How many?
430,000.
8,000. In the Charleston area, we have over 8,000 licensed agents. So that's intimidating, right? Particularly as a newer agent, even as an experienced agent, you look at that count and you go, what the hell? So how many of them are active agents?
10%.
How many of them do over 2 deals a year? About less than 1,000 guys. Do over, how many deals did I say? 2. How many deals do you think you need to do a year to stay alive? 25. Say that out loud. Everybody go, right? 25. 25. Do y'all think that's a pretty good number? Yes, I have. What's your thought of? 10.
What's the bottom?
10.
I'm bottom sure. I'm like, what's your financial?
Yeah.
Correct, so.
What's your financial plan? Okay. What's the second? What's the third one? Somebody read this one. Clients and reporting. My clients and report. Have any of y'all ever heard that or said that?
Yeah.
Okay, and what is this one?
I'm not there.
So today I came for the tech class. Guys, I can do friggin' tax. None of y'all. Can pull back and move on. Okay? However, you've got to get that idea out of your head that you can't, that you can, and that you're gonna experiment with you. So it'll tell you, it does not bite. And so you really have got to decide, please no.
Do you want some stuff?
Impact on your business. What's the impact on your business? Limiting leads. By who? By me, right? One morning I walk by Ben, and Ben goes, geez, and we're having a bad day. I don't want to be here for the phone. Y'all do not get up in the morning and want to pick up the phone and make dials. Right? I mean, there are days that I do not want to call my children. What's the second one?
What is a video phone calls and follow ups?
None of y'all do that. Right. What is the result? By who? By you. Who else?
Clients for our clients.
By the person you have promised and sworn by joining this career path to help.
And your families.
You are not doing well by them when you don't do the first two things. You've got to do them. Now,
People you're responsible for.
Yeah, your family.
Yeah, my kid is about to go to college, he should get sick at my house.
do you know why I got into business at age 50? Because a teacher's salary could not put 6 children through college debt free.
You have 6 kids?
See,
Just one word.
she has some. But JC just, he lives here.
Yeah.
So 6 kids get through college. Guys, that's a big motivator.
Yeah.
Okay. My second motivation that really helped limit my limiting beliefs was partway through that adventure. My husband lost his job. I'm now the sole breadwinner. He was ripped from his job 2 years prior to being able to take his retirement. How many people are going to take away my retirement in real estate? None. Not you, not my husband, not my children, nobody. Because I'm responsible for me. And my job enables me to help those people and to help those children and to help those clients that are depending on me when they have a bad day. That's why you eliminate your limiting beliefs. Next slide. All beliefs, I'm bad at video. Reframe. I'm getting better with each video I try. Do I think I look better in every video I try? I told Alan this morning, I said, you know, I'm just gonna take a picture of you, Alan, and post it on my. He's a lucky guy. Okay, steps to reframe, acknowledge it, ask, is this 100% true? And find one counter example, replace it with a possibility-based thought. What did we learn this morning that we could use this for? And we talked about AI this morning. All of y'all have access to Google Chat because you are in KW and you have command. So it's one of the things that we learned this morning. Okay, I have handed you a sheet that says removing limiting beliefs. I want you to pull it out
And I want you to identify a limiting belief that you're holding. Mine is I cannot have more children. That's a
Same. I have that same one. Mine's probably though, like medically true.
If you're having trouble identifying a limiting belief, I'm not smart enough, I don't know enough. Try to make it specific, and I want you today to go into ChatGPT and help it identify your limiting belief.
What if your limiting belief is I'm horrible at IT and AI? Mimi says, I just need to do it. If I'm doing it, then I'm gonna get better.
Yeah.
Right? So that's my counter, my reframe. I'm gonna get better each time.
And you will. And it will be more fun every time that you do it. Okay? And this is not a report. When you go in and you use ChatGPT and you identify your limiting beliefs, it does not go to the teacher and they do not give you an app.
Well, Jan, I think, and just to add on, when I like technology and I was very anti-chat GPT. Until Holly told me I could go put all my ingredients that are in the fridge and it would tell me what I should make for dinner tonight. And that filled the biggest gap in my life is I don't cook. It's not in my marital contract. I do laundry. I don't cook. But like, sometimes you have to because I have limited time.
Don't cook.
Right? So for me, it wasn't about like, it was about figuring out where that actual pain point was that would get me to try it. And it doesn't have to necessarily be for your business, but starting it with my business, then, or starting with my personal, moved it to, oh, Vince needs a spreadsheet. I could make that also, gonna have her do it because my ChatGPT is a girl. Her besties. I don't have a name yet. But you know what I mean? Does that make sense?
It does. Does that make sense to y'all? It's not to have to be about your business. It can be about your personal life. It can be about how much money do I need to make this year in order to cover my expenses and put 20% into savings. And then you can ask it, how can I do that? So let's go replace it with possibly based, purposefully based thought. Okay. Why do you think that belief exists? That's the next question on this sheet. I want you to fill that out. 30 seconds, because this should not be thought filling. This should be quick. I know that I did not think at 50 I could be successful in real estate because I was 50 and I already had people considering that I was old. Okay. What is a more empowering version of this belief? At that point, for me, it was everybody starts on saying every morning, if they can do it, I can do it. What's one action you can take this week to prove that belief is a possibility? That I could do that. It was to get up, go to the office, make the calls, talk to people, let them know that I did real estate. Oh, like you're not a teacher anymore. I'm still a teacher. I'm just teaching to adults most of the time.
Legal adults.
Adults that act like middle schoolers.
Sometimes toddlers.
And sometimes toddlers. And then how can you support a client that might be facing a similar belief? So limiting beliefs do not just exist for us, do they? Who else has limiting beliefs?
Your client. Everyone.
Who?
Or everyone? Clients?
Somebody that you would interact with.
Sellers.
Wants to sell eventually, but somebody that wants to sell eventually. Why is it taking them so long to make up their mind? You know you can sell their house, so you need to inquire about what is your limiting belief. Ask them what they're afraid of. A question will get you a lot further than a statement. Ask. You guys are in such a position of power. When you help other people identify their limiting belief, you have helped yourself overcome your own limit. Have to slow. You just have to help identify it.
She's just agreeing with everything.
So why do we use scripts? Go to the next slide. Why do we use scripts? Scripts that work. How do you know when they don't work? What? When scripts don't work, it's probably because you haven't asked the right question. Scripts are a framework for you to personalize. If all you do is just study somebody else's script and you do not make it yours, it still sounds like theirs and it will not be effective. So take the keywords out of a script and identify them for you and what makes it important to you to do that when you use scripts. I gave you daily affirmation cards. That's one of the things that you should be doing already. You journal out will help you with overcoming limiting beliefs. Is affirm who you are each day, that you're a good person, that you're worthy for the job that you have chosen, the profession you've chosen. This is more than a job, it's a profession. A job is something that you go to 8 to 5 and you can quit at any time. If you're going to make this yours, you need to identify it as a profession. And you need to get rid of you need to get rid of the things that are your stumbling blocks so that you can overcome the big rocks that are your hurdles. So all you have to do is identify with small steps. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
This is awareness. You can't coach clients for beliefs you haven't faced yourself. What's the difference in ChatGPT and you?
I'm real.
If you do a text to somebody and you use ChatGPT, try adding an emoji at the end. Because ChatGPT will not add an emoji. Only you can. All right. Awareness is power. Being aware of who you are and where you want to go. What if you don't get there the first year? If the person doesn't succeed, try again.
Try again.
Try again. Analyze, recommit, talk to someone else, go through it to see where your weak points are, and work on that. And then belief shapes your actions, actions build your results. I expect all of y'all to have a great second half of the year. We chose this one about limiting beliefs to start off the second half of the year with, and this is going to be the best 6 months of your life, if you will.
All right. I know.
All right, let's get into, so here are the upcoming events. Winnie is putting on her branding series. Has anybody been a part of these classes? Great, right? Like, please, if you haven't, let's get there. There's a QR code. Market recap. I think this is one of the greatest assets that we have to agents that deliver obviously quarterly. So the next one will be this upcoming Monday at the CTAR building at 10 o'clock. So make sure you guys are signed up for that. I know we just put a video out, Shakima put a video out about this, right? Everybody seen it? Yes, yes. If you haven't, go look at it. Yes. Thank you, Shakima, for that. But you guys have to integrate these data and statistics into your daily content, and these things will help you get listings and really communicate the market to your clients. Next slide. So we got Sean's upcoming MREA did this class before and did a wonderful job. So because it was so well attended and we needed to do it again, we got him back. So July 28th, please sign up there. And lastly, July 30th, So mastering disc, this is something new that Vincent just started. He's taught it a couple times. We wanted to bring it to our market center. But this again, we talk about clients are different, right? They all have different limiting beliefs. So we need to understand how to communicate to them. And this class will help you with that.
Different tests, you're supposed to send us to the.
We'll make sure they're done. I was probably out. Definitely register and that test will make
Yes.
it to you.
Please.
Yeah, it's just not set.
Keep it up.
You got time.
This is the last one before the whole.
Mega agent camp.
So then, Mega Agent Camp, so this is in San Antonio, August 11th to the 14th. Great way to connect with other agents. We talked about being referral-based agents, and that is how you get there, right? Go learn, go connect. This is the places that you want to make sure that you're a part of. And then next slide.
If anybody is looking to buy a ticket, I can buy them.
And then lastly, Holly's Leverage Like a Pro. Again, great opportunity. And this is August 28th at 10:30 a.m.
This will be a key. Yep.
And then lastly, there's a couple other things from the Realtor Association and MLS that I want to make sure you guys know that is going on. Cloud CMA, I think I told y'all this before, but Cloud CMA is a CMA platform, right? There's a training opportunity this Friday, July 18th at 10:30. We are in a period where we are evaluating usage. There has not been a lot of usage based on the amount of agents in our markets. Surprisingly, there's not been a lot of usage with Cloud CMA and the other three. Forget the other ones, but yeah, we got rid of two. We want to keep Cloud CMA, but we have to use it. So I think I said this before. Just go create a CMA and practice. Even if you're not like getting a listing or preparing for a listing, just go and use it so that we can get the data that we need to be able to keep it. Good.
Okay, so sure, I'm not heart attack. Cloud CMA is on the chopping block.
It is on the
What else is on the
It's
chopping block?
the only thing right now. So Cloud CMA is part of a larger software package that we had. We did an assessment of all 4 software. 2 of them we've already got away from because we was working with Cloud CMA. We do want to keep. We are advocating for it, but we need the data to continue to show it. Now, anything that the MLS does, if they get rid of something, we want to replace it with something else. But we want to keep what has been utilized and what the agents like. And again, just please start using it. So first, let's get to the class on this Friday. That will help you if you guys have not been to the class. There's a lot of different tips on there. But Friday, July 18th from 10:30 to 12. It is in person at CTAR at the CTAR building. It's Friday, July 18th, 10:30 to 12.
And it's on the training calendar.
Yes.
And then following that, I don't know if you're getting there, are you? Monday, Shenandoah is teaching,
Facilitating.
facilitating a workshop on CMAs. So go learn it and then come workshop it on Monday after the class.
That class is gonna be in Mount Pleasant. We just did it for the first time at Key and it was a little like, what are we doing? But we did it. I learned a lot actually, and we were in Cloud CMA. And so it was very much, hey, here's my address that we want to work on. We went through the properties. We tried to push it, several of them done. Hallie was there, Shakima was there. We learned a lot from them, and not just like the CMA part, but the technical part of this is what can be happening. This is how it saves status. So it was really good, and it's a workshop. We'd love to have y'all join us in Mount Pleasant.
Yes.
Y'all hear that? Keyword.
People need to use Cloud CMA for us to keep it.
We need it's a certain percentage, so we really need 40% of our users. We have over 10,000 users. in our MLS, and this does come with some outside agents that are not like locally here in Charleston, but they still have access to it. We are about 30-ish%, 31. So we still got a little ways to go. It's a 90-day period, so we have another, we have to the end of September. I'm pretty sure we'll get there. We're all trying to let each brokerages know, hey, this is what we're doing. So I want to break it to you, but we need to get up to about 40% or close to it in order.
Push back, cause this sounding a little dojish. If they could consider, not all agents are listing agents, so you can't base it on a broad spectrum of the number of agents that are using it, cause not all agents are listing agents.
Very true. That's one of the things that we brought up in the board meeting as well. But again, everything is, it's all based on cost. And so the cost has increased, obviously. And if we don't see the ROI, then we have to find another alternative that may be a little cheaper or, maybe more cost effective for us.
Do we know what percentage of our KW agents are using the product?
We do not. Yeah, they haven't broken it out by brokerage, but ask for it. I can ask and see if they can do that.
If we could do that. And then if we had an idea, sometimes we get so much through email that getting a personal call to action on something like that is very helpful.
Yeah, and I will say this, just because it's going away from the MLS doesn't mean that brokerages can't pick it up as a service. But we are trying to keep it at MLS because obviously we already pay for that. But just want y'all to know the whole goal here is to just use Plus Inmate, okay? But another couple other things, North Charleston has a new short-term rental regulation class on July 28th. And we'll be on Zoom, and we'll send this out. Now, if you guys are writing it down, July 28th from 10 to 11, it'll be via Zoom. But the New Charleston Planning and Zoning Director will explain the new rules and how it will affect short-term rentals in North Charleston. There is a volunteer opportunity, Isle of Palms Beach Suite on August 22nd. We'll talk about that as it gets closer. And then lastly, save the date for our CTAR Summer Conference. That's always going to try to take August 22nd. And that will be from 8:30 to 1. All right, then.
All right. Thank you, guys. I hope everybody's happy and as well. I also really appreciate everybody coming up to me saying that my haircut looks good. Nobody has, but thank you guys. I'm pretty proud of. So we want to do two little letters, and we're trying to tie them together. But this one was really important to me because I had an incredible coaching call last week with Laura Donna. And we got on the topic, and it's going to tie in perfectly with Jan. So Jan, thank you for doing such a great job with beliefs. But my coach Laura and I got into the conversation of our conversion rates. And she said, well, Ben, with your team in Ohio, if you didn't know I'm from Ohio, and I'm really sorry that I came down here, but with your team in Ohio, what is your conversion rate on appointments held to appointments signed? And I said, well, we're about 95%. We're selling about 100 homes there. And we're about 95% held to sign. And she goes, okay, what about in Charleston? I said, well, significantly less than that. And she goes, okay, so what did your appointment look like in Ohio? And I went through it and was very aggressive. And I closed that appointment by saying, and Sarah, I really appreciate you meeting with me. I am going to set proper expectations. You're never going to invite me over for dinner, but I promise you I'll sell your things. And she said, I love that. And you do the same thing in Charleston. And I said, well, no. Why not? I said, because in Charleston, it's a slower pace, it's more relationship driven. I don't want to be too aggressive because that's not how it is in Charleston. She goes, is that? And I said, well, yeah, that's what everybody tells me. And she goes, so you have a 95% success rate, but you let people's opinion change how you have conversations. So you're not coming on across authentic. Is that right? I said, well, you're telling me it is. And I agree with that. She goes, so your sales, you're not a salesperson in Charleston. It's just you're not being your authentic self in Charleston when it comes to sales here. And that's drastically dropping your conversion rate because you're trying to pretend to be somebody you're not. And so I had this huge realization that, okay, well, let's go back to being who I am. I am a truly transactional salesperson. We're not gonna get to know me. I don't care if you know how many kids I have or not, but I'm going to come to your door, I'm gonna communicate with you effectively, and we're gonna sell your house. The second that you're sending me photos of your kid, it makes me uncomfortable and I become inauthentic. And I know a lot of your bases are like, whoa, Ben, that's like not how I operate. And I think that's great. Don't operate like I do. There's so many people in this room who are relationship driven salespeople. And I love that. I absolutely love that for you. And we, Keller Williams, have 500 people and some of the best coaches and trainers here. And we have a section of that for relationships driven salespeople. But then there are also the other people here, or 25%, I know, an odd man out, who are transaction driven, who want to get in the house, communicate how we're going to communicate when we communicate, and that's how I'm going to teach you guys, and that's how I'm going to show up. And that's what's so great about this organization is that there are people who are going to teach you relationship-driven salespeople and transaction-driven salespeople. But if I come up here and tell you how to host events, guess what? You're not going to learn anything about hosting events. It's true, because I don't want to hang out with them. But that's not to say, I will tell you this, that we do receive countless referrals because we communicate who we are at the beginning. And so I had a huge aha from that, tied my limiting belief that I have to be this person. And so my message to you is when you go on appointments and you're like, I gotta be buttoned up or I have to do this. No, you just have to be yourself. If you're not a suit and tie person, stop wearing a suit and tie. Thank God nobody said that. That's just my case. And so I was like, all right, how do I tie this into another lesson? Well, I'm going to give you 5 lessons from my dad and the person that gave me my voice. And I did this with our leadership team a few weeks ago. And, you know, my dad is my best friend. He's the biggest impact on my life. I call him every single day and we just talk. And so I came up with this, watching my dad exist for 31 years. These are the 5 biggest lessons I got from him. They're going to come with a story, and then I'll tell you the lesson. But when I was 7 years old, my father lost everything. And a deal that went really bad. When I say lost everything, it wasn't like he had a few $100s in his bank account. It was our houses were foreclosed on. He was getting divorced. Cars were getting repossessed. We moved into a really bad part of town, so bad that one morning we wake up to the cops banging on our door because the people we shared a duplex with were murdered. So really bad. And my dad was so afraid of ever living like that he just charged with work. And he was up at 4, went to bed at 11, and that was his life. And he ended up building a lot of great companies, but at one point in my adulthood, he admitted that he had a lot of regrets about our childhood because he was just gone. He traveled all day, every day. He worked himself silly, and he had a lot of regrets. And he asked me, he said, "What are some of your favorite memories from your childhood?" And I said, "Well, Dad, 3 stand out more than anything." And the first one was when we would go to Waffle House for dinner, and the waitress would put on the jukebox, and I could dance on the booth, and we were all just having fun there. And then the second one was when at night, again, threw it back. I love to eat. The second one was every night we would make cheese and rice, and he would hand shred the cheddar cheese, and he would call them cheese worms, and I loved that. And then the third one was when we would walk home from daycare or school. He would pick me up and he'd walk, and we'd walk through the park, and I still have this baseball that we found at my house that we found at the park. And if you know my dad, he isn't much of an emotional guy. And he kind of gets teary-eyed. And I said, "Well, what's going on?" He goes, "Ben, those were 3 of the worst memories of your childhood for me. Because at Waffle House, the only reason we went there because all I could afford was an all-star breakfast and it could feed all of us. The only reason we had cheese and rice is because all I could afford was cheese and rice. And we walked home from daycare because I didn't have money to put gas in the car and make it work, he said. And he said that these were all memories that came for the money. And the lesson that I'm learning now is that all you wanted to do was spend time with me and none of the other things mattered. So lesson number one I learned from my dad is nothing is more important than time spent with loved ones. The second story is at that same time, a guy named, so again, nothing is more important than time spent with loved ones. The second story that comes in around that time, a guy named Raj Join comes into my life, my dad's life. And he brings my dad on and he wants to, like, dad did mergers and acquisitions. He wants to take this company NTC public, and he brings my dad onto the job. And my dad had never done an IPO before. But one day, this is a big job, and my dad's a big executive at the company, but a tow truck comes and takes his car away. It's true. And Raj, it's true. And Raj sees this and he says, well, what's going on? My dad's too prideful to ever ask for anything. And Raj says, you don't worry about that stuff anymore. We'll take care of it. And kind of Raj takes my dad under his wings, helps him through all the other stuff. So that stuff didn't matter anymore. And my dad just focused on work and building his life back together. Well, my dad is on his final journey, final venture, and 30 years later, he's taken over the company that he's built, and that guy's name is Amal Soin, Raj's son. And Vince helped me point this out, but lesson number 2 is relationships matter. So number 3, I get to college. If you don't know any stories about me in college,
Don't ask.
don't ask. I lost my way a little bit. And my father would call me and I would, we'd be talking. I'm gonna get my grades over. I'm gonna get it right. Like I messed up, and I would have all of these excuses. And we would talk, and then he would call me the next day, and I had another excuse. Ben, you're supposed to be in class right now. You're asleep, and it's like, yeah, but I also missed yesterday, so it like kind of counts out too, right? And I had excuses as to why I wasn't showing up the way I was supposed to. And he's paying for college, and one day he finally stops me and he goes, Ben, your actions are speaking so loudly that I can't hear you. So lesson number 3, your actions speak so loud that I cannot hear the words you're saying. Lesson number 4, I graduated from college. I get into the real estate industry, and I talk to my dad every single day, and call him in the morning on the way to work, and I am hissing up a tree at somebody. And I am just saying, this person did this, and they're saying all this about it, and all this, and God, you're not going to believe this. He goes, fine, it's fine. Just forget about it. Have a good day. So you're right. Well, then I call him at 10 o'clock, and I'm like, Chad, you're not going to believe what this person did. And I'm complaining about this person and saying all these, I can't believe they did this to me, or why would they go with this person, and blah, 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 blah. My dad pauses and says, Ben, it's 11 a.m. Because if you've met 2 assholes by 11 a.m., maybe you're the asshole. So lesson number 4, maybe you're the asshole. And lesson 5, it's my favorite lesson. I think I always said that one. And I use it pretty regularly. If you've met 2 bad drivers by 9 a.m., maybe you're sure. So we move on, and I'm selling real estate, and I grew up with this guy named Benny McGowan. Benny and I have been childhood friends since kindergarten, and he got the nickname Benny because what's his real name? Ben. And my name's Ben. I thank you guys for connecting those dots. But we were
to see that come.
Yeah, we were in first grade together. This is just a funny story about him. I was bigger than him, so they gave him the nickname Benny since we were in the same class. Well, Benny went on to be 6'7" and offensive lineman at Michigan State, but his nickname still sticks. But I grew up in his house, and their family never had much, but they always were a great family. And they really, really cared about the community and the kids, and the McGowan's home was the safest home in the neighborhood, and everybody loved being there. And Mr. McGowan calls me a few years ago, And he says, hey, Ben, we're thinking about selling the house and can you come out and get it going for us? And I said, of course. So I get out there and he's like, you can see the house, like, you grew up in this house. I said, you're right. And he's like, but I do need to get some fact sheets to like tell me the age of the water heater and the HVAC. And he goes, well, you know about the HVAC. What? How would I know about your HVAC? I said, your dad never told you. I said, I have literally no idea what you're talking about. Then he goes, your dad called me one day just to check on me. And I told him, I said, well, our heat is out, it's the middle of winter, and I don't know where I'm gonna come up with money for it. My dad listens to him and talks to him, and he says, a few hours later, your dad comes over with enough cash to pay for a brand new HVAC system. He said it wasn't a loan, it was, again, you take care of my family, and I'll take care of you. And I get really, really emotional when I get in the car and I call my dad and he goes, son, I honestly forgot about that. And that moment, lesson number 5 came true. And it's your legacy is left by doing things when nobody's watching. So lesson number 5, your legacy is left by doing things that nobody's watching, the things that you don't want accolades or awards for or any of that. And my favorite part about my dad is that's one story. And in 100 years, when he finally passes away, his funeral will be filled with those stories, not because he was a successful business person or a great dad, it's because there are 1,000 of those little stories, and that's his legacy. So lesson number 5, your legacy is left when nobody's watching. Thank you. I hope this was good.
All right, so I think that's it. So if you don't have the training calendar, please download it. And just really to wrap up, a couple things. So I want us to give it up for Jan again for the limited release. That was really good. I always think of limited beliefs as I do a lot of renovation, redevelopment stuff, and our first thing, we have to do, you got to identify what's broken. So think about this in yourself, or think about this in your business. Identify what's broken. You have to tear down all the bad things that's in there. Tear down walls, tear down these beliefs, but then you rebuild it with quality material, meaning rebuild it with quality content. What are you reading? What are you consuming? All of those things, right? And then you find a way to maintain that and sustain that for years to come. Meaning, how do you be consistent with it? You have to build systems, right? So how do you take care of yourself? What's your self-care routine? What's your morning routine? How do you do these things and maintain? Because, you don't want to start anything and don't be consistent with it. That's exactly, that's detrimental to our business, and that's detrimental to ourselves. So think about it that way. Love the connections that Ben talked about from Mr. Bolton. Got a lot of different ahas from that as well. But one thing from us as from the KW leadership team, we really want to hear from you. We want feedback from you. If there's information or if there's education or content that you guys would like to see more of, please let us know. We did a Rising Star Society a couple of days ago, the mastermind, and one of the things that came out of it was that there's so much training. There's information overload. Do y'all feel that one?
You don't have to do all of them.
You do. That's that.
Same thing yesterday. We don't have to, you can pick and choose what you need right now. That's right.
That's the biggest thing. Everybody needs something different. Everybody's in different levels of their career, right? And so you don't have to be at every single trainer, right? Pick what works best for you and your strategy and your business goals and attend those. But we do want to make sure that we're listening to our agents and providing that, providing that content, providing the feedback, and then let you guys know that, hey, we hear you. So if there's other things that you guys would like to see, or other things outside of the brokerage that you guys would like us to bring in, please let us know. We're open to hearing those things and delivering that value to you. Jen?
I would like to also say that you've had a very wonderful ALC this year. Their doors are always open, their phones are always on. If you just have something that you need to share or an idea that you want to pass by and you don't feel like sending it straight to leadership, reach out to someone that's on the ALC. They are more than happy to help you, more than happy to listen to you, whether it's a problem, whether it's a solution, whether it's just venting. That's part of what the ALC is. They're your agent leadership council. We help make your messages known to leadership. So please utilize those sources that are here. And if you can fit in the classes, as you grow in your real estate journey, these classes evolve, and what they mean to you today will mean something different to you in a year. And this is an ever-changing industry, whether you started today or you started 30 years ago, it's always evolving, and there always is an opportunity to improve and to learn and to learn.
Thanks for all for being here. We couldn't do it without you guys. Thank you to our leadership team, Kristen and Tiffany and Holly. Can't thank them enough. They really do this well-oiled machine running.
We gotta thank our little tiny.
Oh, yes, yeah, well, she's out.
Babysat by others.
But again, please don't forget, to please be there on Monday, July 14th for the market recap. That's the biggest thing from here, and we'll see you guys next time. Thank y'all. Oh, it's next Friday.
So, just a heads up, win-win negotiations is happening on CES right now, so we're gonna pull that up. If anyone wants to stay and watch it, feel free to. We paid for this from the market centers, so it's a resource to you guys. It's on the training calendar. You can watch it on Zoom. You can watch the recording. If you sign up for it, they'll send it to you if you can't attend. But we're also gonna start playing them in the offices as well. So, yes, thank you.
Have a good day, everybody.